I actually been inside the White House. Trump's first term, they actually invited me. I got invited to the White House. I've been inside the White House to go see a Trump speech.
Well,
I've been
well,
inside the White House.
I'm
Trump and his people, they like me.
All right, so Johnny Somali did an interview with a woman called Yasmin Zora Rubu, and she's a controversial figure just like him. We'll talk about why in just a moment. But what I've learned from this interview is three things. First of all, this chick is completely nuts. Second of all, Johnny Somali has horrible pickup lines and zero riz. And third of all, Johnny Somali cannot conduct a normal interview if his life depended on it. So now you might ask yourself, who is this chick? Why is she important? Basically, she really hates Israel, really hates the Jews, and she did a couple Karen meltdowns where she had some Roman salutes, if you will, and she is basically threatening people, a total degenerate. Now, this video is not political. I'm not going to take sides. I don't want to talk about the Palestinian-Israeli stuff because it is a very toxic subject. I'm just here to bring you the interview of Johnny Somali summarized, just the best parts, so you don't have to watch the entire thing, which was an hour long. And honestly, I lost a lot of brain cells listening to these two, but that's okay because I do it for you guys. Without further ado, let's get started.
like a 12-part documentary or
Johnny's
series
vasectomy
because
father sent $3
I
my
mean,
son.
but I could
This is
give
your
you the
father.
lowdown, like the
Do
basic
humanity a
information.
favor and get a
Yeah,
vasectomy.
give me that.
Get a vasectomy.
Well, my name
Get a
is Yasmin
vasectomy.
Zora
Get a
Rogu.
vasectomy.
I'm
Get a
half
vasectomy.
Amazigh. I
Get
don't
a
like to say
vasectomy.
Moroccan because that's
Get a
what our
vasectomy.
colonizers named
Get a
us, and
vasectomy.
we used to be part
Get a
of this
vasectomy.
whole North Africa
Get a
and more.
vasectomy.
Anyways, and my
vasectomy.
other half is
So at first he thought he would be able to get away with getting a bunch of donations while the interview was going on. That's going to change in just a moment. But in the next segment, he talks about free speech, and he seems to be confused as to what free speech actually is. He's talking about how she's getting doxxed because she has opinions. Take a look at this.
gang members.
People
and
dox
things
me
like
too.
that.
A lot of people on the internet, they're gonna threaten you when you have an opinion that people don't like. I think you shouldn't worry about it. I feel like I respect your right to free speech. You know what I mean? I feel like free speech, that's in the Constitution. We should be able to say, as American citizens, we should be able to say what we want. People might not agree. I don't agree with everything you say. You probably don't agree with everything I say, but I still respect your right to say it.
So here he's very confused. Yes, she has the First Amendment. The First Amendment and all the other amendments protects you from the government. The First Amendment worked perfectly here because she was not arrested for her Roman salutes and all her crazy opinions. Now, you do have freedom of speech, but you do not have freedom of consequences. You see, the First Amendment only protects you from the government. It doesn't protect you from anyone else. So sure, you can say whatever you want, but there will be consequences.
40, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is allowed in America, which is supposed to be the best nation on earth, that other countries don't allow because it causes cancer and makes your brain. If you only care about
I'm
yourself,
gonna turn
you
off
will stay
TTS,
in
guys.
that.
Just for now, I'm gonna turn off TTS. People are interrupting you with the donations. I'm gonna just turn it off for now because it's a serious interview. I'll turn it back on later.
So in the next segment, she was trying to explain a crucial part of the story, but because he has the attention span of a toddler, he just kept interrupting her.
Good woman. And
So how does this
pictures.
relate to the taillight smashing?
I know,
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. It's a really long
okay,
story.
how about this? Walk me
through.
through like that 5 minutes. You're walking your dog. What, you notice your car gets the taillight smashed, and then you just start throwing Romans? Like, what happened?
Okay, well, it's a long story, but don't worry, we'll talk about this next.
So in the next segment, I noticed this. A lot of people might not have, but it looks like Johnny Somali was talking to Hank in the background. Maybe Hank was missing him for some cuddles, or maybe he wanted a foot massage or something, and he wanted Johnny Somali to cut the interview short. But you can clearly see that he is talking to Hank when he's muted. Take a look at this. I'm going to zoom in on his picture.
He's a good guy, and he still went into that cave to, save everything. So sometimes you gotta do things that are like not appropriate to the end result. People stop dying, and our kids stop being told that it's okay to be, stuff that it shouldn't be. They're putting stuff in our water, putting chemicals in water to make the guys more effeminate. I mean, look at all the guys in California, man.
So you think the water in California is turning guys gay? Like estrogen? There's something in the water? Like,
sure.
like Alex Jones, they're putting something in the
Yeah.
water and making the frogs gay like that?
Yeah, for sure.
So you can see he put his hand up. He's clearly talking to Hank, telling him to kick rocks. Now, I left the part about the gay frogs because I find this really funny. This woman believes a lot of conspiracy theories. that the water in California is making men gay, there's chemtrails, and a long list of other conspiracy theories. It's also worth mentioning that she admitted that she was an ex-crystal user, so that might explain it.
Like, like, come on, like, you guys gotta read the Constitution. Just stop. I know it's fun to watch TikToks all the time, but you guys gotta just go get the fucking Constitution, and we could go to the Supreme Court with that.
Once again, she's very confused on what the Constitution actually does. It protects you from the government, not from your peers. The fact that she was able to have all these Roman salutes and express all her hatred proves that the First Amendment is alive and well. She was not arrested for it. So once again, she is very confused.
Since they doxed you on Twitter?
Yes, yeah, they sent the police to check on me for a mental health check.
To your house?
And yeah, the police came knocking, and I wasn't there because I was chasing my cat.
And what did you tell the police? Did you come talk to them and say like, "Hey, I wasn't home," or they sent?
Well, I wasn't home. My friends were home, so they told them I wasn't home. But yeah, but then I called them later on, and they came back, and I explained to them, hey, I'm kind of going viral right now, so can you patrol my neighborhood extra? And I showed them all the text messages I've been getting and phone calls I've been recording.
So now she's asking the police to protect her because of her bad choices. So once again, she doesn't want to accept accountability for her actions. If you're praising the Führer and you're doing the Heil, you know what signs, you're going to get some type of backlash. It's just what it is. I mean, look at Kanye West. He dropped a very ridiculous song about praising the Führer, and he got his tour canceled in South Korea because, once again, he can do it, but there will be consequences. So in the next segment, Somali tries to rizz up this woman, tries to bust a move on her, and it fails miserably.
They just want to stay in
You look a little bit like MK. I'm not going to lie. Not as a diss. Not as a diss. You look good. I'm not lying. You look a little bit like Kim K. What's up with that? Like, I don't know. You look like you bring up Kim K twice. You look a little bit like hijabi Kim K.
Ooh,
you look like, yeah, a little bit.
Okay, she's a gorgeous person, but in the inside is rotten as heck. She's very nefarious, and I know for sure she does some. Hopefully,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So good. Get deep into it.
Have
you? Okay. Also, someone from the chat, any similarities with what I'm going through and what you're going through?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was thinking about it before I even talked to you. I was like, I'm gonna make these freaking Illuminati, Masonic, freaking Baymont, freaking worshiping Moloch, dick sucking people. I'm gonna make them pissed off that they're only gonna try to get me. So come at me, bitch. I'm gonna be your worst public enemy. I'm gonna tell everybody all your secrets about how you freaking be diddling this, diddling that, showing them all the artwork with Balenciaga.
So you see, he's trying to paint himself as a victim. He's saying, do you think there's a lot of similarities between my case and your case? But she's too self-centered to even address that question, which is ridiculous. Honestly, these two might be a match made in hell because they are so alike. Obviously, physically, she is way out of his league, especially later on. I'll show you some other pictures. But mentally, they're pretty much at the exact same space.
So, okay, what was your ex job? I think you told us you were a stripper, right? Is that true?
I was a stripper at California Girls in Santa Ana. At California Girls in Santa Ana.
And would you ever go back to that life, or what?
Oh, I'm on a one-way mission for justice.
So in the next segment, Johnny Somali talks about how Trump is on his side and that he's been to the White House, that Trump invited him during his first term. That would place Johnny at anywhere between 16 and 20 years old. At that time, he was not known for being Johnny Somali because the character Johnny Somali wasn't born yet. So that is complete bullshit when he says Trump is on his side. Take a look at this.
13.
I actually been inside the White House. Trump's first term, they actually invited me. I got invited to the White House. I've been inside the White House to go see a Trump speech.
Wow.
I've been inside the White House. Trump and his people, they like me,
Yeah. Well, I had God when I was young.
Hear me out, send
it's just,
Johnny.
I made a wish for God to guide me to be the most Muslims, and I think the devil heard that and tried to ruin my life. But I'm black now, and I'm stronger than ever, and I hope God sees my...
So she wouldn't stop yapping, so we weren't able to hear this hilarious TTS. I'm going to read it to you. Johnny, do you and Hank flip a coin every night to decide who is bottom and who is top, or do you have a set schedule, or do you just play it by ear at bedtime? I just wanted to put it out there because it is hilarious.
What do you know anything about Johnny Somali or my situation, or have you did research anything about it? What do you think about
you're
it?
like I mean, honestly, like I know Korean people are around. There's a lot of Koreans, and they're very respectful, but also like not just very respectful. They're like it's it's if you stab them in the back, I'm pretty sure they would hate it less than doing pranks on them because they're very they have their ways of doing things. Every place in the world is almost like a different planet with different customs.
What do you think
And
about
also,
Diddy? What do you think about?
So here she is extremely wrong. What Johnny Somali did to the South Korean people is not pranks, it's harassment and it's crimes. And that's why he's getting prosecuted for his crimes. Get it right, lady. Now, in the next segment, he is extremely creepy and he's asking to see her butt. Now, keep in mind, this is a Muslim woman. They're supposed to be more reserved and respectful, and it's kind of a weird thing to ask of a Muslim woman, to be honest.
be in court for that.
So look, okay, can you give us a 360? Someone in the chat want to get a 360. Can you stand up? Can you give us a 360? Maybe back the camera up a little bit. We got the fur coat on.
Yeah, well,
Can we get?
I mean, that's as good as it's gonna get.
Oh, can we see the gat a little bit? A little bit.
What?
Never mind. I'm playing. You're on the Muslim bar. You're on the Muslim bar. I'm joking. Okay.
Yeah, nice try, Johnny Somali, but like I said before, she's out of your league. This woman is not like any Muslim I've seen before. She spent over $200,000 in plastic surgery to improve her appearance when it's fillers, but... So once again, I don't think any of this is approved by the Muslim religion. I've done my research on the topic. I know a little bit about Islam, not that much. And from what I've researched, you're supposed to be very modest as a woman. You wear the hijab to cover your face. So once again, it doesn't line up with the image she's trying to portray.
You might get some donations because you kind of trending on Twitter right now. I think you should make a Gifts and Go and ask people to help you.
Yeah, well, I have my Cash App on there. I mean, I'll make.
You want to shout out your
donation.
Cash App right now? You want to shout it out? I'm gonna put it in the description too.
Yeah, sure.
No, say it. What's your Cash App? Let people, if people want to support you.
I think it's Yasmin Zohra Robu, or my name is Yasmin Robu. It's like
I'll put it in the description after.
It has a picture of the incident, like a news coverage of the Power Ranger salute.
So what she was saying earlier is that she's not about money, she doesn't really care about finances, but now she's plugging her Cash App. So once again, the grift is strong. Now what Johnny Somali is going to say next is pretty damn hilarious.
You know what I mean? Look, I'm trying to be, like on some Piers Morgan vibe. I'm just trying to get your story, and
The fact that he's comparing himself to Piers Morgan is ludicrous. Anyways, that's it for the video. I wanted to bring you this interview condensed because the entire thing was insufferable. Trust me, I cut out a lot of the crazy shit that she says because it would get demonetized on YouTube, and I want my video to have as much reach as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.